New Zealand seems like a big, beautiful place. There are big sandy beaches, lots of nature, and nice people. However, like many countries, New Zealand has one massive problem: homelessness. People are living in all sorts of places: cars, tents, and overcrowded shelters.
Being unhoused could happen to anyone. If we miss one mortgage payment or two mortgage payments, who knows?
This problem has been unnoticed for far too long. New Zealand has more than 100,000 homeless people and 3,200 in Dunedin. Many different cultures have been affected differently, such as those in the Māori and Pacifica communities. Therefore, we have endeavoured to illuminate this darkness of uncertainty, to raise awareness of this important topic. My name is James Ray, and I will be guiding you through this important topic. Homelessness is a huge problem around the globe. The definition of homelessness is an individual or family that lacks a fixed, regular nighttime residence. According to Wikipedia, there are roughly 1,500 people homeless in Dunedin, but this information is already a year old. Therefore, the Dunedin City Council believes that there is at least 3,207 people without a home.
And here in Otikoti, Dunedin, we have 3,207 people without homes.
So Dunedin has about 3.7% of the national homeless population.
As a whole, New Zealand contains roughly 100,000 homeless people, and worldwide this number is 150 million as of 2021. Most people who are homeless are part of one or two of these following groups: women over the age of 55 and LGBTQIA+ community members under 18, with 28% of LGBTQIA+ youth being homeless and 31% for women over 55. However, there are still other groups that suffer from the effects of homelessness. Homelessness can take many forms, some in cars as mentioned before, as well as tents and shelters. According to Marie Lawfiso, the former MP for the Green Party in New Zealand, this is due to the rising cost of living as well as the lack of funding.
I think there might be misinformation or misunderstanding that, to me, being unhoused could happen to anyone. If you look at, say, for example, America, you've got people with PhDs and just a couple of accidents that are not necessarily your fault, and you could be out of a home or out of your home, and I think that's the case. I think we tend to think that I think that's the attitude that I see around the council table in general, is that people who are unhoused are basically losers, but that, it could happen to the best of us. If we miss one mortgage payment or two mortgage payments, who knows?
She believes that being homeless has nothing to do with being Māori or Pacifica and could happen to anyone.
I think we all have a responsibility to try and, make solutions that are long-lasting.
She says that if she were Prime Minister, she would buy all uninhabited homes and use them as homeless shelters or homes for those in need.
If I was Prime Minister, I would nationalise, I would buy up all the unoccupied homes, or I would charge a tax for unoccupied houses.
Influential people in New Zealand critique how deficit lens or a more negative light is applied to Māori when homelessness is researched, and they advocate for Indigenous-led research. These ideas influence our society and make us believe that the majority of homeless people are Māori. However, in terms of stats, out of 100,000 homeless people in New Zealand, only 28.8% are Māori, with 36.3% being European, 22.6% Pacifica, and 3% Middle Eastern or Latin American. This proves how it can happen to anyone, and that everyone has an equal chance of falling victim to it. When comparing New Zealand to other countries, while our sheer numbers may not be outstanding and look somewhat smaller when looking at it, but in terms of percentages, that changes drastically. In India, there are around 1.8 million without a home, out of a population of 1.4 billion. China has a population of 1.4 billion as well, but they have 2.6 million without a home, which is 0.18% of their population. Australia's indigenous population, the Aboriginals, contain 25,000 of its 122,000 homeless population, which is 20%. In New Zealand, in terms of homeless people as a percentage instead of population, 2% of our population is without a home, with China having theirs at 0.18%, Australia at 0.45%, and India's 0.12%. This showcases that while New Zealand lacks sheer numbers, when looking at percentages, we can see just how bad this problem is in New Zealand. Not only in New Zealand, but all over the world for all cultures, efforts are being undertaken to help those who live without an adequate roof above their heads. Multiple communities and organisations are attempting to help, but they do not have funding or support from governments and councils, which leads to them being unable to help. The call for action is getting more and more urgent. The number of people going without a home is growing daily, but we all need to help work towards a future where everyone has a safe roof over their heads. Donations, helping charities, and volunteer work are all ways to help. In summary, homelessness is a problem that is going unnoticed nationally but also worldwide. It affects different cultures and could happen to anyone, a wide variety of people in terms of age, gender, as well as culture, and varying levels of education. Cross-agency-led approaches to help those without a home in New Zealand are only just starting, and councils and governments, as always, need more money to help. If you want to help, you can donate or volunteer to help the following groups: the Dunedin Night Shelter Trust, Red Cross Foundation, Orange Sky New Zealand, as well as your local food bank in case they are in need of food. We thank you for listening, and we hope you pay attention to our messages and realise just how bad this problem is getting. Thank you, Team 4.